Hi everyone, welcome to the energy update for November 2018. I'm Lee, I'm an energy intuitive, and every month I take the pulse as to what's going on down here on Earth and what might be showing up for us as it affects us all on a daily basis. So last month, those of you who tuned in for my October update will have heard me speak a lot about identity shift and how that has been a theme this year, but that it's been coming up quite strongly again in the last couple of months. How this is showing up for many people at the moment is a sense of going through a period of review around your life, your choices, your relationships, the things that you are doing in the world. And for some of you, it's going to be giving you very direct experiences of suddenly flashing back to other times, other relationships, other places in your life. This has been reported a lot by many people, and for some of you who experience timelines a lot, you're the kind of person who walks to a place and has very visceral memories of things that either you feel you remember from there or things that you're walking through that other people left behind in the energy trails. That can be a piece of this or a part of that puzzle. But for those of you who don't identify with what I just said, it can simply be a revisiting of past experiences, past life events at high speed. So kind of like a daydream that is showing up and on a loop. And it might take you by surprise. You might wonder why you are remembering these seemingly unrelated memories all on the same day. But as we go through review periods, we have a clear out. So it's no different to clearing out the cupboards at home. We start to lift the emotional and psychological debris inside ourselves as we are changing our patterns. And collectively and individually right now, we're going through an extraordinarily potent and fast time of transformation. So many of you will be having this experience of reviewing things and clearing things out. And November is going to be a month of very elevated energy. So this can go two ways. When elevated energy is playing out in the world, it can either be lifting us very quickly into much higher experiences than we've been recently having. Things might start to flow and connect, and you might start to feel happier or more alive than you ever have before. But equally, elevated energy periods of time can lead to us having even more problems in relationships, situations, or areas of our life that are stuck. So for example, if money is a struggle for you or an area where you know you've got a chronic pattern, perhaps money has been like a story all your life, that money, there's never quite enough, and you may have learned that from your parents, you may have learned that from your teachers, but you're getting to the point where you're tired of the story. It doesn't feel true to you anymore. November might be a month where that rises to the surface quite aggressively because this elevated energy is rising up anything that is no longer serving us, moving into a more elevated place. So that's playing out quite strongly in tandem with this energy of review that will be going on for many of you. And that fits with our ongoing theme of identity shifts. The other piece that's coming up in November is a sense of where am I on the balance of giving and receiving? It was a very curious theme. I was tuning in right before this, recording this, and I was like, well, you know, show me some of the themes that are coming up. And I got this very clear message, the balance of giving and receiving. The part of you that wants to give and perhaps has overgiven in your life, or you don't really have much to give right now, so your habit of giving is actually beginning to cost you. But equally, the part of you that perhaps hasn't let receiving show up in your life, that is going to be coming to the surface for lots of people in November. So this is a good thing in terms of receiving. It might be that you're on the receiving end of more love, more energy, more resources, more money than you are used to being in the experience of. And this is really important. Part of moving into an elevated energy or a new identity is that our outer circumstances change in tandem with what we are able to hold in our core. So some people might have a really fixed idea of what receiving is. You know, for some of you, it might mean a load of money, but for others, it won't mean that at all. It might simply mean receiving a new level of love, a new level of gratitude, a new level of presence where you look around and see this world that we're living in and you're like, wow, I don't know if I've ever been quite this awake before. I don't know if I have ever been able to slow down this much to take in the wonder of what is happening right now in this moment without me racing ahead as to what's happening next or worried or stressing about what happened last week. Just being purely present, because in the present we receive so much. There is so much right here for all of us. So this giving and receiving energy dance is going to be showing up. You might be needing to put some boundaries in place around how much you can give this week, this month, or to this person. Perhaps that's a good place for you to start letting yourself receive, because if you're constantly giving out, you don't have any space to let in. And equally, if you're the kind of person who's only ever receiving and taking from others, it might be a really good practice to start saying to yourself, okay, this week I'm going to try and give something to somebody. Maybe it's just a smile, maybe it's helping. There is a real balancing effect around giving and receiving that is showing up that many of you will see play out in your lives in very specific ways. Interestingly, that we talk about giving and receiving, because the other thing on the table right now, and again, this is a theme for this year and previous years, but it's really up in our face right now. It's feminine energy and how feminine energy is rising on our planet and how that's showing up for all of us. I will play you a clip at the end of this video of the MP3 channeled and sound healing recording that I've just created on this, called Feminine Energy Rising. And one of the messages inside the channel is the importance of all of us, whether you identify as male or female in body, or you may not identify as either of those genders, we all are made of masculine and feminine energy, but we have devalued the feminine energy in our society for so long that it's become normal. And the masculine energy has been the thing that has been celebrated, raised to the surface, and more seen and more nurtured. So as the feminine fire is coming alive on the planet, it is affecting people's voices. And so if we just focus on how your feminine is going to show up through the things that you say, whether you're a man or a woman, or you identify differently to those, you are going to find more of a fire around speaking your truth, especially to people or in situations that previously you may have been a little hesitant to say what you're feeling or what you feel needs to be said based on what just happened in the scenario or the relationship. We all run on programs, and our society puts us in these formations and boxes with each other that we often don't break out of. So our soul is often squashed. And in our soul, we have the masculine, feminine energy. And one of the messages in the channel was the masculine on the planet cannot progress if we don't let the feminine energy in. So whether or not you highly identify with the complexities of masculine and feminine energy, what will be showing up for many of you this month is you wanting to speak your truth with more fire than ever before. Not necessarily an aggressive fire that's out to destroy, but a fire that brings warmth and heats a room and brings nurture to us, because fire has both sides. So think about this for yourself. Is there somebody or some scenario that you have been silencing yourself around that actually you are ready to speak now? And because of your sensitivity and the part of you that has looked at this, you might be surprised not only how capable you are of speaking your truth in a way that it is well received, but also that the other person and all that they have been through in the last months and years and the change that they too are going through might be more capable of hearing it than you think. So don't be surprised if truth-telling comes up strongly for you this coming month as one of the aspects of the feminine energy that is rising on the planet right now. And last but not least, you'll like this one, magic on a high. So grounded magic on a high. That was the last piece that I heard before I recorded this video. So it fits really that that would be an energy that is riding through for so many people. If you look at the idea of reviewing things, clearing out, making space, wherever there are limited relationships or limited scenarios, because when magic shows up in our life, connections, opportunities, flow, joy, and the feeling that you are living a life that is far bigger than what your eyes alone might be able to see. That's the experience of grounded magic when it's playing out in your life. And on the back of last month's message about Kundalini energy, whenever Kundalini energy is on the rise, it's a soul energy, especially when that Kundalini is able to be balanced in your life and you reach a point of balance with it, more magical connections and happenings start to flow around you. So there might be people coming into your life that you have really special experiences with this month. There might be some really synchronistic happenings as well. Things that you can't quite believe are happening in front of you, but they are. This is how the universe is getting louder for those of us who are wanting to listen and are capable of listening, so that that universal energy can start to flow into our daily actions, which leads to more connection, which leads us to be more humane to one another, the planet, every creature here. And that's what we really need at the moment. So that was your energy update for November. Thank you everybody for tuning in here on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever you're watching. As ever, I always add additional pieces in the written version of this update. You can find that at my website. The link will be below this video, or it's leeharrisenergy.com. And if you wish to go deeper with me and the work that I do every month, you might want to consider joining the portal. It's my monthly members community. Every month I do an extended energy update and take questions from our members, and you receive many different things, one of which is our monthly MP3, which I'm going to play a clip of at the end of this broadcast. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Big love. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll play the clip for you now and hope to see you out there on social media or other channels. Big love.
The feminine is fierce as an energy, but the feminine also knows the importance of nurture and love. A mother can both fiercely protect her child from the rest of the world while pouring an enormous amount of love and attention toward the baby. And we will say fathers do this too. So understand the duality of that energy. To nurture, protect, and give so much energy to something you are believing in, wanting to raise up, while also shielding that baby from anything you perceive to be negative outside. This is the fierce feminine in action. Meaning, the fierceness is only there to protect that which needs to be nurtured. So if you cut the feminine out, nurture of energies that are needed disappears. Your planet, your ecosystem, is in need of nurture and repair right now. Your people, the ecosystem of your collective, your animals, are all in need of nurture and repair right now. And if the drive toward productivity and status and economy and separation of people through economy and circumstances is continued, the world's suffering will magnify. Which is why the feminine has come to the end of the road where suppression is concerned.
This is the voice I have, carries the fire I am. Feel the power I give. This is the life I bring. Feel the power I give. This is the life I bring.